So we're looking in OpenStax Statistics Chapter 10, and we're talking about an example where we're testing differences before and after hypnotism. You can always access the OpenStax text for free. Just look in the description of this video for a link to the free text, and you can access this Excel workbook for free at divideandconquermath.com and go to the OpenStax Statistics section. A study was conducted to investigate the effectiveness of hypnotism in reducing pain. Results for randomly selected subjects are shown in the table. A lower score indicates less pain. The before value is matched to an after value, and the differences are calculated. The differences have a normal distribution. Are the sensory measurements on average lower after hypnotism? And we're going to test at a 5% significance level. So this example has already been done for you, just so you can see how to organize this. But there's a couple of things just to note. This is very different from the previous tabs here. So first of all, we're talking about testing the differences. So my data here, I'm not comparing the before data to the after data. My entire test is being run on the differences. This is the data that we're using for our test. So when we set up our hypothesis, so we want to know are the differences lower after the hypnotism? So what I want to know is, are these differences less than 0, right? That would indicate that we've had a drop in pain after hypnotism. So this is the way that I want to set up my null and alternative hypothesis. Okay, and so as you're kind of wrapping your head around this, so it depends on the problem in terms of how you want to set up your null and alternative hypothesis. But in looking at this, right, so these would be higher scores. And so as you can see, like in this case here, this went down. So that's the direction that, would be ideal in this context, right? The pain has gone down. So we want to see that lower, that negative difference there. And so again, that's how you can kind of drive all this. Okay, so when you are doing this test though, it is a different way to kind of run this, and you're not comparing the two populations since you're doing all of your work on these differences. So notice what the test statistic is here. This really takes us more back to techniques that we used in Chapter 9. So I want you to notice how I get my data for all of this. So I need to get this mean, this x sub d. So I get that by taking the average of my differences. And this is what I'm going to use in my test statistic. Same thing for my standard deviation. So I'm going to need this s sub d. I find that by just taking the standard deviation of the differences. So I'm not using the before and after data. I've got an n of 8, so that's n entries, and then my degrees of freedom here. So I only have, so since my standard deviation has been computed off of these differences, I'm going to have to use student's t, so I can just take n minus 1. And so from here then, this really should feel like Chapter 9 in a lot of ways, because now I'm going to take my mean divided by my s sub d divided by the square root of n. So this is very much back to that same stuff that we were doing in Chapter 9. So here's my test statistic, and then from there I can compute what the area is from the test statistic to the tail end of the distribution. And so I get that I have this p-value of 0.009478. And so comparing that to our 5% significance level, I can see that this is indeed less than 0.05. And so what does that mean? That means I'm going to reject the null. There is sufficient evidence to suggest that the pain is lower after this treatment.